Balancing out. That's what fell. A balancing act in regards to a wish that you desire to be granted. So you're working on a balancing act, composure. Composure. For this new beginning that you have to get out of your own way for, right? So either way, I've been sitting here and we're gonna get into it and stuff like that since this has fallen. But I want to talk a little bit about astrology. Okay, so we're going to discuss some astrology and some of the transits in astrology and how its influence can be influencing your environment. Either way, this is entertainment for your entertainment, right? And we are each responsible and accountable for our own perceptions and ways of handling and doing things. Even though this is a free market of entertainment where you are free to participate and engage, you're still responsible for you in every kind of way. Either way, this is an evolutionary, revolutionary channel that I love to create on. And so, yeah, so give me a moment and just get this started and then we'll get started. We're going to jump right in because we're going to be discussing something. Venus, the sign that this planet is currently transiting in both Vedic and Western concepts, along with its relationship with Mars and Taurus. Okay, hold on. I speak my own kind of astrology. And so again, I'm not an astrologist. So if you're looking for critiquing and all that kind of stuff, hop off and record your own stuff and enjoy that process. You know what I'm saying? But either way, I just feel like the planet of love, Venus, right, is calling out, right? In this major development. And then it was interesting too, because, you know, I follow Vedic and astrology and Western astrology too, both apply. And so in Vedic astrology, currently Venus is in Cancer. And in Western astrology, Venus is transiting Leo. So because of how I'm guided to infuse, there's an infusion, there's a transit happening within this too, right? So in Vedic astrology, Venus and Cancer, well, it takes 23 days for a sign to transit through a planet or a planet to transit through a sign. In earthly terms or coins, right? So whatever. So so in the Vedic calculations, it is showing it as in the Vedic astrology is showing it as Cancer, right? Yeah, showing up as Cancer. And then in Western astrology, it started August 11th until September 4th in Leo, right? In Venus. And now you have these two neighboring signs, right? Cancer, the sign of Cancer, and then the sign of Leo, right? And so these are two different elements, two different energies, two different vibrations, frequencies, working together. That's how I like to look at infusion. We can look at infusion similar to like a square where there's a challenge for us to figure out, right? So infusions can be pleasant and unpleasant, challenging, easy, whatever the case may be, dependent upon the energy, frequency, vibration, evolution of each individual thing, right? And so Cancer being the first water sign, right? And Leo being the second fire sign now to be introduced, right? And so there is an elementary school factor of emotion and a intermediate student study factor ignited in the development of the next second fire sign, Leo, right? In the evolution of. And so, what are the challenging aspects of Cancer? The sign of Cancer, period, is the vulnerability of healthy expression, which is usually first they have to travel through all their unhealthy emotions too, because just like the crab-like, shell-like depiction and ruled by the moon of hidden doors and realms that Cancer, being the first water sign of the zodiac, is embarking on to evolve into growth, right? But their first response system is to retract into their shell and hide from overly intense emotions that don't feel good, right? Because when it feels good for a Cancer, right? There's an outward expression and joyful quality to their disposition or yeah, because they tend to be, nurturers. Cancers are nurturers, right? Natural nurturers, motherly, and all this kind of stuff. And then Leo here enters, Leo, which is all about this fire element, changes element completely and all this kind of stuff. This dynamite powerhouse energy, whether pleasant or unpleasant, hear me roar, So even in the handling of things, Leo and Cancer are way different. Way different. So you have two different astrologies saying one Venus is in this sign and another one saying Venus is in the other, and I'm infusing them both because both do apply. And there's like there's lessons to be learned each and every time, right? Because I just feel like wherever Cancer, because Cancer comes first in the astrological zodiac wheel, right? Then comes Leo, right? So that's an evolution in itself. Like if the astrology was one person evolving through each sign, Cancer will come first and Leo will come after Cancer. So wherever Cancer leaves off in its evolutionary development, Leo takes over the wheel, right? And infuses its own uniqueness into that which has already been created, right? And makes it more, or grows it more, expands it more, grows it more, learns it more, evolves it more, however you want to look at the evolution of just, piece by piece, right? And then you have Mars energy right now. So the planet Mars and Taurus energy, right? And so Mars in a planet in astrology, simplified version, is all about our confidence and our energy. So it's in stable Taurus, right? Which we have this now stable energy environment to explore, to focus upon the detail even more, right? Because we are moving through certain transits, transitions, cycles of our lives, right? And we are creating with intention, purpose, and alchemy that which we desire to create, right? And so this is why we seek out and learn the way that we do and grab the information however we grab it. The breakdown of these kind of videos, like, is my articulation to offer inner sight into another complexities of multidimensional life that you might find yourself awakened on to exploring, welcome. And so this is just a tidbit of a piece. It's something so minuscule, but yet so deep, as we go beyond the surface, because we're like creeps, right? As we continue to evolve up here in these streets. Poetess, you meet me, right? So either way, Mars is all about the energies, right? So we're talking about an astrological influencing environment that, for whatever reason, influences our stratospheres, our atmospheres, our ethospheres, our spheres, and whether we are conscious of it or not, whether we accept it or not, whether we look to it for it or not, we can, wherever we are in our belief systems about however anything wants to be or is, if you go and you dive into it and explore it further for your own resonance and, application, then you would find, you'd be like, oh shit, even though I didn't believe this at this kind of time, this shit kind of applies. And so, majestic align, call it whatever you want, like rat race trap of a lifetime, everything is conditioned into our environment to use and utilize for our evolutionary growth too. Is anything ever new? Right? But anyways, that's neither here nor there. We're just exploring these layers as we go deep into our layers of uncovering, layering these layers, right? So, and Venus, right? So we have the planet Venus. Venus in itself, simplified, right, is a representation of harmony in our affections, right? Right. So if we wanted to break down the planetary systems in our simplified classroom tactic style, we're just flowing now, right? You got the sun, representative of the ego and the self, right? Our self, right? The moon, emotions and our moods, right? Correlated to that. Mercury is our communication and our thinking, right? So currently too, right? We want to break this down too. Mercury is in Virgo, right? The sign of Virgo, which is very detail oriented too. So you got Mercury and Mars working together in Earth sign placements that are stabilizing our communications and our environment too, right? Virgo, Taurus, cool, right? So either way, right? And then the sun, whether you're in Vedic or Western astrology, I don't know what it is in Vedic at this moment, but the sun is in Leo, right? Where most people believe or correlate. In Vedic astrology, it might be in Leo already because we're already, I don't even know the date. It's August 17th. I don't know if it's still the sign of Cancer in Vedic astrology, or if it already has transitioned into Leo, honestly. So forgive me for not knowing that, but whatever. It is what it is. Right? But we got the sun, and then I don't know what the moon. I think the moon is void. The moon is void. There is no moon sign today. I believe the moon is void. So anything goes. Right, and Mars is in Taurus, and then in Western astrology, Venus is in Leo. Venus is in Leo, and in Vedic astrology, Venus is in Cancer, right? Okay, right, and then Uranus, it's in Taurus, and then the retrograding planets are Neptune, Pluto, Chiron, Saturn, and Jupiter. All these mofos are retrograding, right? Blah, blah, blah. Right? So Neptune is all about idealism and compassion, right? Saturn is all about limitations and practicality, right? And then Jupiter is all about prosperity and good fortune, right? Pluto is all about transformation and power, right? So whatever, we got all these planets doing this thing, meaning something, traveling in a house somewhere, doing its own energy, influencing, right? And all this shit, right? So for me right now, when I see two conflicting astrological reports that are both informative and right in their own way, delivering a different mathematical equation to the calculations as to what is actually happening, right? So but for me, when it shows that, and I see Leo and Cancer, I see a tangle taking place, right? So because Venus overall is considered to be an auspicious planet. It is the brightest planet in our solar system, also known and seen as the morning star, right? So, right. So you have Venus in Leo and Venus in Cancer. Clearly, two different elements. You got fire or passion, energy, enthusiasm, inspiration, right? Surprise! I just think that, right? And then you have Cancer, which is water, emotion, mysticism, intuition, and all this kind of stuff. And you have impulsive, not impulsive. You have strong, fiery sex drive, let's say, and Cancer wants to make love. You know what I'm saying? Like you have two different kind of Venetian. You have two different energies working with the Venetian energy, asking for two different kind of things, and that makes me think about the development of just this whole even love dynamic message of just our relationships and our intimacies, right? And just how revealing this can be onto the the building of our strong, firm foundations, right? Um, in our personal lives, right? You might be having challenges, right? In or coming out of or coming like, you know, whatever the case may be, with maybe a partner, intimate partner, a life partner, a marriage partner, a friendship, a work partnership, a business relationship, like whatever the case may be, your closest relationships, right? That affect you. How do you know if they affect you? That person says something and says that person and their well-being and all that they are can affect you and your well-being and all that you are. That's how you can judge who's valid and important and relevant in your world. And those are the relationships and stuff like that that should be taking precedence, right? In terms of how healthy, wealthy, stealthy you are with one another, especially if it's something that you're choosing to have or you must have for whatever reason, right? And this could be personal too, because as we then exist on out, this could be the love dynamic. It could be single, right? In no kind of partnering or relationship and stuff like that, and desire that and find this inner conflict, right, with yourself as to the tantrum that you want to have about the disappointment in your own lands, about how maybe it's unfair, or when will you catch a break, or are you forsaken in love, or you wanting a partner that is not there yet, ready to jump in and dive in with you. Is that really the partner for you? All of these coming to truths, right? Or even being in a loveless kind of marriage or in a relationship that one sleeps over there, the other sleeps over there, and you don't even know, and I just get out of your hair and it's just harmony there, but we work together, hey? Or it's a love dynamic, you know what I'm saying? Or just even if whether in a relationship or not in a relationship, the dynamics of communication that exist within our own entire being, right? That are revealing to us what we are breeding, seeding, and creating for ourselves, right? And this kind of development, right? And then we're working with an earth energy, right? This Taurus and like even the Virgo energy, right? Which earth is all about practicality, stability, right? Materialism, realism, like being real about your situations in regards to all that is happening at this time, right? And so there's an intensity happening with this infusion, right? In the most brightest part of our lives. So whatever is can cause you melancholy, right? So think about it. Like, so it's like being disappointed in love and being all like pouty and I want that for me, and and being all like lacking in gratitude about other things and all this kind of stuff, because it's always a choice and a point that you get to make in your life and choose to focus upon, right? So it's about bringing your brightness into your planet so that you can retract that, traction that, right? Build that, create that, pull that in for you, right? So we have all these supportive kind of energies too working together, right, for this transformation. Because remember, Pluto's retrograde too. So there's major transformation happening in our cycles of empowerment and power. But each place we're traveling through, in different videos too, like, so much to map out. We're just going to go into parts, right? I'm all about micromanagement for the macro in our lives, right? It's all about micro compartmentalizing and all this kind of scenarios that we are creating, right? So like the end of a chapter here, and as we create, right, in our place and we step into the world, stabilize, right? Mind over matter, right? Mind over matter, right? In a mind over matter kind of way. So here we got this Venetian sway. So that's what kind of I wanted to talk about today, to highlight a little bit more, because I gotta go soon, right? About the dynamics of love that are happening here and the influencing energies too, and the different elements that are screaming out, both right in their own way. But dramatic is all I have to say, right? You got a Leo and Cancerian energy dynamic here. Leo's all creative, warm, joyful, right? and in favor of the arts, right? This youthful kind of flamboyant kind of energy, right? So you have this perfect opening for a transformation of inner child, inner diva healing too, right? So checking your triggers too for what is triggering you and what you want to have a tantrum about. Let's get through. Let's go into our inner child, inner diva room, right? Because here we have Mercury and Virgo allowing us to work through the details of these tantrums that we might be having in Venus territory. So Venus territory is all about, like we were saying, harmony and affection. So what is disharmonized in your life that is creating a tantrum-like effect of feeling disappointment, or that which you feel like you're not receiving or having, or just like, oh, frustrated about, right? In terms of Venus, affection, Venus, right? Harmony, love, right? So, um, so here we are, right? So here we have this Leo energy. Go put on that little black dress kind of concept. If you're male, go put on that your nicest suit outfit, like, you know, sexy be you, right? I'm bringing a sexy back, right? So because Leo energy, right, is all about this big romancing, right? This big gesture, right? This and big drama to match. So now if you're stuck in Cancerian waters that are not evolutionized in your own harmony of development in the Venus category, right? Then you're coming into the Leo energy infusion, disharmonized, and so it's going to be a dramatic flare, but disharmony is there. So it's like learning the love language of each element within your own being that's transitioning, that's moving, and asking something more. It's asking for something more. And so now it's time to ask yourself clearly what that something more is, right? So any kind of unwelcoming change, right? Any kind of things that you hold on to, overcoming your own despair, right? Having a new perspective out there, right? Going into that Virgo kind of territory too, right? Right. So infusing, right? We have a lot of retrograding kind of energies here that allow you to remember the cycles that you have gone through, been through, get through, go through, rise from, conquer, right? And overcoming the mindset that maybe once plagued you from before, right? That has caused no action or movement for you to take place, right? So something that you're attached to in some kind of way, right? Not serving you in some kind of way, right? So right, so we want to infuse these two beautiful energies that although different elements they might be, we want to infuse it healthily, locally, stealthily for ourselves so that that way we can be as prosperous as can be, understanding the energies of the energies. So like even with the Cancerian energies working too with the Mars energy, Taurus, right? With Venus and Cancer and Mars and Taurus, it creates this well, Venus and Cancer on its healthy, wealthy, stealthy development. It's all about self-care, rejuvenation, right? Art therapy, deep cleaning, physically, internally, you know, this purification, this nurturing, this self-love care journey, right? And all this kind of stuff, right? And so it's all about these deep emotions that we have and this ambiance that we desire to create and live in, right? True, in true, right? Love rules, right? Inspiring this creative growth, right? It's beautiful. It's a beautiful connecting, nurturing energy, right? So with Mars and Taurus, right? With that, Venetian and Cancer energies, right? We're adding powerful planning and building and executing energies for good progress now in these energy rituals, right? Because Mars and Venus creates this passionate and alchemical balance, right? So yeah, so Mars plans, right? It executes. It's a focused kind of energy, enabling us to plan, right? To strategize, right? To build, right? To consolidate, to be resourceful, to find resources, to have resources, to expand on resources, to infinitely stretch and grow resources, right? While Venus inspires this energy for the more, right? So yeah, so I don't understand my handwriting for some stuff. Because I'm trying to go through, right? So, right, so either way, right, with this Cancerian energy, right, tapped in with this Leo, fire, divine, masculine and feminine power combined, right? You get this this energy connection that is an enchanting expression, right? And if Cancer heals through its fields, it deals so that it can heal and rise and evolve past its own hurt, pain, or tantrum like ways, right? Why does a baby have a tantrum? Why does anyone have a tantrum? Because they feel unheard and they lack the communication skill at that moment of tantrum to deliver their message any differently. So because they lack the communication, the words to say what they want to say, they have a tantrum in every kind of way. And so I feel like that could be an energy that for many, they are trying to purge, to surge, to rise above, right? To conquer these little inner tantrums of expression that are frustrating and can be disappointing or like making one feel like, am I ever like going to catch a fucking break? Like seriously, right? And also, or just, you know, it can also release itself toxically in ways that are just you're doing so many different things that there's no order to that which you are creating, no intention, no purpose, just absent-mindedly like sparking everything up without much thought process to that which you spark. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so but this earthly energy tied into this Venus challenge, right? Because Venus is challenged, right? Right now, even with the Sun Venus aspect, right? In Vedic astrology, the Sun and Venus are enemies in some kind of way or something. I don't know. Anyways, I don't like to look at it like that, but I understand it for explanation purposes and stuff. And the moon too, right? So we have where's the moon? I said the moon is void, so the moon is void right now. Although these messages are timeless, okay? And the moon is void right now, so anything goes. Anything goes, right? But either way, pay attention to your health, right, at this time and the impact of your own emotions. Because remember, if you don't find healthy outlets of honest communication, whether it be in art, words, communication, like whatever you do to express yourself, to release that which must be released in a healthy, wealthy, stealthy way that is creating solutions to the challenging aspects, not just more frustrations and repeat cycles of tantrum nations, you know, and those kind of things, right? Because there might be a frustration especially like within personal relations, whether it's in a marriage, couple, even if you're single and you're just frustrated because you're not in a couple relationship or you're not coupled or something, or just some kind of, like I know I go to Venus and stuff like that and relationships, but just partnering, that there might be certain kind of frustrations. Both parties, although working together for something, might not be on the same page, you know? So it's like somewhere it's a rainfall and somewhere there's drought, right? One might be more passionate than what the other one's about, or one might be more expressive in there. Like, it could be just, things that create this challenge, right? And so the supportive energy and the reminder is of the stabilizing earth energies that are here to secure you in your position, no matter what might not be clear still, right? Understanding that you are safe, right? You are safe. You are here on the precipice, right, of creating the potential for greater intimacy in all your personal relationships, starting with yourself at first, right? So Venus and Leo, loves love and wants to display it to the world. And Venus and Cancer create greater intimacy, right? So this Mars and Taurus aspect creates for a very artistic strategy making solution-based time for our natural abilities to try and be supportive to one another at this time, creating the excellent team. Like it could be like a sales pitch, you know what I mean? Creating an excellent sales pitch that works for both of the signs that are different elements wanting different things overall, but meeting each other on the sales pitch, and then finding that greater harmony together. And with Earth lending its practicality, its stability, materialism, and realism, there's massive quantum opportunity and potential for major evolution on revolutionary scales that is just so awesome and dynamic for each and every one of us to be on an evolutionary quantum wave that expands our consciousness in every single type dope as fudge way. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so pay attention, because even with Venus and Cancer, this is a juicy energy time, right? An awesome time to be creative, right? Infusing with the Venusian Leo quality of flair, of getting yourself out there confidently, boosting a boost of your own self-confidence, right? Courage too, right? Building, lending from these, like the Mars and Taurus energy, building from the ground level up, right? Mars helps you to begin this, right? From the root chakra. So you got root chakra exercises, meditations that you can begin to practice, right? Surrendering to nature's wild chaos in an alchemized form, right? Mars and Taurus it's time for feminine principles to direct and inspire, right? As we build our project unified with unity, right? And within our community. And so, yeah, so that's pretty dope in that kind of way. Needing an outlet, right? Needing an outlet, right? So it's your time for reflection, right? Pouring this cup into yourself, it's cups, right? So I do want to pull a healing card, and I really do have to go. Give me a moment. All right, let's work on your healing yourself, right? Because that is what we do, right? We work through and we get through. Home is our own. You know what I'm saying? And we're letting go of all that does not serve. because we are activating from our highest leveling of consciousness and awareness in our awakening activation, right? And so it's all about our alchemy. No more procrastination, right? It's all about getting into our sexuality, our own liberations and alchemy too, right? And all that we want to do, right? So if you love content like this, then this is your opportunity to let me know in the comments. Also, what you would love to do more of. You can subscribe to my channel. That is really helpful. I am really trying to grow my YouTube. And so showing your support, especially if you have eaten the cookie mana up until here, then your energy of reciprocity, my dear, goes a long way. But either way, yeah, what can I say? There is a master link that I will be sharing that will link you to every single platform available for you and I to connect on. There is a new feature on my Instagram at Enchantress, ENCHANTRESS, that allows you to subscribe, right, and receive exclusive content from I. Allow me to be your pocket muse in life, right? Receive daily doses of inspiration, motivation, behind the scenes, tarot oracle readings, and DIY. So much more. Mana for your whole mind, body, heart, and soul whole, right? Have direct access to me that the general public does not have, and receive exclusive content that gets posted and shared daily for you and saved and archived in another location for you to have access to. And it's hidden from public view. Yeah, so it's all there out there in the open, but hidden from the public, which is pretty dope as such. So yeah, and that's pretty much it. So what is your feel yourself oracle for this moment in time that we can work on? We can work on. We can heal through. We can feel through. We can deal with and rise. We can get through this. Phoenix rising. And just said rise, some major change at this time. The card reduces down to the single digit of 5, right? So Phoenix rising. Everything in your life is falling apart in order for you to rise from the ashes with renewed strength. This is not a time to create, but a time to sweep away everything that has not worked in your life. The reason so many things are breaking down and not going your way is because the old cycle of your life is completing. You may feel that you're walking through the fires of life right now in order to be cleansed and purified for your own rebirth. Soon you will not recognize yourself. You are reclaiming your spirit. If possible, try to isolate yourself from the chaos surrounding you, right? Heart realm, mind too, right? So now is the time for you to feel any pain that you have previously suppressed so that you can heal. The universe has plans and opportunities that are better than you can imagine. So let go and trust and anticipate what is coming. Write down what you are afraid to let go of. Number your fears from the worst thing that could happen to the smaller fears. Then write down what could be a possible gift of facing that fear. Place your hands on the part of your body where you feel the most fear. Say to yourself or out loud, I am willing to let this fear go. Imagine being able to take the sensation of fear out of your body and into the palms of your hands. I do this kind of energy work. And massage and visit. I don't know how to say this word. All right. Either way, imagine that fear becomes a bird. Surrender the bird to a higher source and visualize it flying away. Repeat the word surrender several times. Okay? So what are some lies that you need to let go of, and what's some truths that you need to see, or some lies, you know what I mean? Right. So the job market may be tough on some of you, and you might feel like you're hustling and applying and looking for something that it aligns with. So what do you need to let go of that's a lie? Like maybe not applying to certain kind of things, or not applying yourself to certain kind of areas and arenas of your life that you need to spend quality time on in order to shift it, change it, right? Stop saying that you're doing something that you're not, when you're not really giving it to your all. Give it your all and really give it everything that you got, and you will see the shift and the change that you need to see, to be, to breathe, to see, to actually embody, you know what I mean? The energy of the apply. So it's application time, right? And putting in the effort. That's energy that will create everything that you feel you don't have at this moment in time, right? Because it's energy. It needs to match your rhyme, right? At this time. Right. So stop saying to, in regards to like money matters, to, oh, I'm broke. If you find yourself saying that, stop. Stop hurting yourself with your language. And if you want to receive my pocket news of daily doses of inspiration and reminders of how to motherfucking speak for yourself, because language expert sure as hell be me, you know what I mean? Master alchemist, still a student of life in every kind of way. I have a love of words in every kind of way and have been studying it for many a day, and wanting to know the etymology of everything that I speak before I speak it. That way I don't destroy it as I speak it. And so I am mindful of that which I speak. And so you best believe that if it's not enough for me with you won't hear me say those words at any motherfucking given time. Even if it's a worry of mine or a reality of some sort. It's finding the articulation, healthy, wealthy, stealthy, in every kind of way that delivers me authentically, allowing me to express myself free without damaging me. You know what I mean? So that's the kind of development stuff that I love to be about and help other people with too, because language is important. And that what you feel is energy real. An energy management solutionist specialist, that be I. If you're into that kind of stuff, come subscribe. You know what I mean? We'll have the time of our lives. Yay. Yeah. Hold on. Before I go. Champion of a cause, be determined, right? To have self-preserving honor towards yourself, right? Passionate, find your passions. What are you passionate about? If you're disinterested in something, understand why you're disinterested in it. Instead of talking down on yourself about that which you are disinterested, right? It's like saying you don't want to clean. And so instead of saying I don't want to clean because I don't like to clean, you say I'm lazy. And that's why I don't clean. You know, it's just a matter of understanding your inner standing and giving yourself a hell of a lot more credit that you do deserve to give yourself in honor of you, in respect of you, right? Nobody's perfect, but honesty goes a long way. You know what I'm saying? So understanding what you want, how you want it, when you want it, and understanding the tantrum behind that which you want that you feel like you're not getting, so that you can understand the perspective that you're having. That if there's anything that's toxic as fuck, and most likely it is, and that needs to be looked at, clearly identified. How can you rid something that you have yet to identify? So you kind of get in a line, right? So that the dynamite that is you is ignited with passion too, in full alignment, taking action on that which is you. Firecracker too, right? Energetic too, right? So these things that are happening are like catalysts, right? Right? These things that are happening that are like a catalyst to your defense, right? That you need to break free from, right? You might feel like you're detained and that your external surroundings can have you tied down or bogged down in some kind of way, making you feel like you have to submit, feeling powerless in some kind of way because you have to conform, or you have to comply, or you have to do something that you don't really want to do at this moment in time, right? And feeling targeted at this time, or handicapped or deprived, right? But so right, this sudden pressure that you might be feeling, right? Being pulled in opposite directions, right? And wanting to do that which is right is like the slingshot of life, right? This that you're ready. You're ready, especially if you're here, right? So love might be on many of your minds here too. So a love of a lot of the things that you do, the affection, the appreciation, this Cancerian Venus and Cancer, Venus and Leo, kind of healing, feeling, dealing, right? So that the evolution is revealing the revolution that's happening, this enchanted passion of vulnerability and surrender to the fidelity and the yearning to that which you yearn and that you want and that you desire and that to receive and have, you know what I mean? This high emotional IQ is a gift to be fawned upon, an achievement to be recognized and to have, right? Success, victory, right, is yours. Carrying the day, plans are coming into fruition. Keep that which you are doing, keep doing. You know what I'm saying? King of your own mountain, queen of your own mountain, rising, right? Being recognized in that kind of way. Knowledge, learning. That's how you activate, applying that what you learn, right? This information. You can be knowledgeable about a lot of things, but when you don't apply the knowledge that you know and learn, then what good is having knowledge, right? Without application, right? That's wisdom, right? Applied science, right? Practicality, practical magic, this Mars energy, right? In Taurus, that's allowing this earthly stability of practicality, practical magic to take place and to be like, okay, all right, I got my information, I did my research, I did the work, I'm doing the work, and now I'm applying the science into my own life because I know that beneath the surface, my energy got to be right. This is the sacrifice, right? And I'm down for this cause. It is a sacrifice that I'm making. I'm giving up, I am surrendering, right? To that which I must do without complaint too. Gratitude will be my attitude, you know what I'm saying, right? Leading to the call, right? And then the energy shifts into this fun, because I shifted into this fun perspective, cheerful disposition, right? Because I am attaining my goals and I want to live stress free independently, right? So I'm rising up, I'm ascending, right? Because it's time. There we go. It's time for action. Okay, it's time for action. It's time for action. So that you can build and live with full satisfaction. Time to take action. Woo! All right, thank you so much. Till next time, I hope that you utilize all this mana here, mana, you know what I mean? And till next time. Well,